Hello there and welcome to another Paper Tray Ink Make It Monday. This is Ashley Cannon Newell with you for this week's challenge to get you to stamp some Emboss Resist Shadowed Sentiments. I'm using the new fruit salad sentiments to demonstrate how to use the Emboss Resist technique to create shadowed sentiments. So here I have the fruit salad sentiment stamp set. You can see here all of the large sentiments that word sentiments that will be great for this technique. There are plenty of other stamp sets that will work as well. So you can see on this card I stamped the hello, and then you can see the white shadow sentiment below that. So to start my card, I have an A2 size white card front here, and I'm just trying to position my word sentiment party onto the card front where I want it. And so I'm just going to take my watermelon die cuts I already have prepared and prepped and just try to position them to see exactly where I want to have my sentiment stamped onto my card front. So the first thing I want to do is take whatever color of the ink I want to use. On my first example I showed you with the cherries that I use pure poppy ink. On this one I'm using a smoky shadow, which I like, or you can use a true black too, doesn't matter. But you can use any color. The next step is to use your watermark ink. I'm using the Versamark ink pad, and I'm stamping directly onto the same stamped word. Exactly, just overlaying it. Now I am positioning it a little bit down and to the right to create that drop shadow. And when I say a little bit, it's probably like maybe a 1/16 of an inch. It's very small, a little bit positioning, and you just want to create that shadow. Alright, so you can't see anything here. So that's the part where it gets to be kind of like, uh-oh, did I do it right or not? So what you want to do is take your clear embossing powder and cover your card front so that it covers all of the watermark ink that you stamped. And once you remove the excess and it all sets, you want to take your heat embossing tool and heat it up. So you can see here I'm heating it up, and it takes a little bit for it to get warmed up, and once it does you can see the magic happen, and all of the clear embossing powder starts to melt onto the cardstock, and you can see the smoky shadow ink start to shine. What you can't see at this point is the drop shadow part, and that's because it's clear and you've stamped it on white cardstock. So already it's looking a lot better because that clear embossing powder really makes your sentiment pop. That shine and that gloss makes it very shiny. So you can see the drop shadow. I'm taking a little bit of Harvest Gold ink with my sponging tool, and I'm just going to sponge some ink directly over the stamp sentiment. And this is where you'll start to see the color pop through. Now, I didn't try this for this particular project, but I believe this will work well on colored cardstock. So for instance, say if I had Harvest Gold cardstock, I stamped the Smoky Shadow Party sentiment directly onto Harvest Gold cardstock, and then I stamped watermark ink again with the drop shadow with watermark ink. I think you would still get a drop shadow effect. It just wouldn't be white. It would be just like a darker hue of the Harvest Gold. So I think it will work great with colored cardstock too. And then you'd be able to skip this sponging step. Maybe you don't want to sponge, or you don't like to, or you would like to rather just use colored cardstock. I think this Emboss Resist Shadow Sentiments technique will work on colored cardstock as well. I just wanted to add that tip in there for you guys. Okay, so I've done a little bit more of my sponging, and now I'm going to take my die cuts to finish off my card. I already have my fruit salad watermelon die cuts prepped. What I did here was I just layered them up with, I used limeade ice for the outer portion, the green portion of the watermelon, and I used some Copic markers to make the stripes. Then for the rind part I used sweet blush, and then for the fruit part I used berry sorbet, and just used some a little bit of a black felt tip marker to actually do the watermelon seeds. So I already have here stamped the sentiment on heat emboss with white embossing powder on black cardstock. You're invited to a pool, and then it finishes off party. So you can position this however you want, of course, on your cardstock. So I just wanted to have fun with it this summertime and have fun that way. Now, I thought I wanted the gradient part just to end up with the white at the end, but then I thought it needed a little bit of texture. So I found some pattern paper from the black and white collection by Paper Tray Ink, and I'm just going to add a little bit here. Now, if you don't have this pattern paper, no big deal, right? Because you have plenty of line stamps you can use to create your black stripes on white cardstock. All right? So I think this adds a little bit of extra flavor to the actual invitation, but I'm just going to finish it off with a little bit of black and white baker's twine. Just tie it into a simple knot, and then add my watermelon slice over top. So I really like this fruit salad collection. I think it's really fun and it's perfect for summer. But I think it'd be great year-round too, especially if you want to create little lunchbox cards for your kids or things like that. So this is just one great way to use these sentiments, but you can also use other sentiment stamps or alphabet stamps to use this technique. So come check out my blog, and I'll have a list of other Paper Tray Ink stamps that you probably have in your collection to use. So here are the finished still shots of my pool party invitation. Thanks so much for watching. For Paper Tray Ink, I'm Ashley Cannon Newell. Can't wait to see what you create this week. Bye!